What up? What up? What up? It is Sunday, November the 2nd. Woo, it's almost Turkey Day. This is my favorite holiday out of all of them.
Wait, quick question, then, Danny. Quick question.
Yes,
Are you deep fried or traditional with the turkey?
I'm both.
Okay, cool.
It
Deep
depends on
fried turkey?
Oh man,
You've never seen it?
You never had it?
Oh,
It is delicious.
dude, it's crazy good. Oh,
Deep fried turkey?
Yep.
No.
dangerous as hell, though, if you don't do it right.
Yep. Only thing about it, man, the peanut oil is what we cook it in. It's expensive, and man, it takes like depending on how your pot is, but you gotta fry it for so many minutes per pound.
Yeah.
It's good, bro. I'm telling you. I wouldn't lie to you.
So wait, you don't cut it up? You just fry the whole thing like you're baking it?
Yep. You put it in the pot in the fry in the grease. Get the grease hot, and then what we do, we use Cajun butter, and we use this season from what's the people that did Duck Dynasty? They get a turkey season.
Oh yeah.
God, it's delicious, bro. But now they got an indoor fryer. My buddy has one.
Yep.
So just before we start off, because I know Chris has this, I got to say something too, right? I just got to get this off my chest. I did not mean a word I said last week about Aaron Rodgers. I had to do it because I lost a bet, and that bet is over with a week later. So now I can actually say that he is trash. He is so trash that
no, you will not be smirched.
I don't know.
That man's name.
He won. He looked damn good at it while winning.
Danny had to kick him off of his team. That's how bad he was.
Hey, let's don't talk about that now. That's gonna be our first topic. Thank you, Nzo. That's a perfect segue.
Welcome.
That's a perfect segue into what I was going to say. And here
it is. JG. Okay.
JG, how you doing, man? I didn't mean to ignore you.
No, you're good, man. I'm just sick of these Jets because I pick them to lose, they win. I pick them to win, they lose.
That's called a Falcon curse, buddy. The Falcon curse.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what it is, but it's something about some of these teams, man. They'll mess you up. But the first one, Stephen A. says the Jets can't afford to lose another game in order to make the playoffs. But let's go ahead and give us a little flashback of the bad man's performance.
Straight touchdown drives and held on to beat the Texans to snap their 5-game losing streak. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 TD passes for the first time since joining the Jets, including that highlight reel to Garrett Wilson, catching it one-handed, and the final one to Davante Adams. Rodgers is at the line.
Kind of season on the line there in the second half. Obviously, we wouldn't have been mathematically eliminated, but mentally, 2-7 would have been real tough. Hopefully it's give us confidence so that we can beat anybody because we feel like we could. You know, the way we played on offense in the second half is the way we've been kind of waiting for this offense to wake up. And I know obviously I was close to perfection as I needed to be.
Wait, what?
But that's a standard I need to play at.
That's what I'm talking about. He said he was close to perfection.
He was close to perfection?
He said he was close to perfection as he needed to be.
That's a loaded comment. I was as close to perfection as I needed to be, which means if he was like 1% of perfection, but that's all he needed to be, but that's what he was.
3 touchdowns, over 200-something yards. He looked like Rodgers of the old. He got the MVP of last season, which, if I'm not mistaken, he was season before. So, do you think they got a chance? You know what? Make it to the playoffs. That's my main question.
Will they make it?
There was a noise I heard.
That was my phone alarm going off.
Okay.
Do you think that they make it? Like he said, mathematically, even if they would have lost, they still could have made it. Do you think now this win has given them a little bit of confidence? Now they got a true number one in Davante Adams. Him and Rodgers has a history together. Do you think that the Jets are going to make a run and could they possibly make the playoffs? Or will they make it? Not possibly. Possibly, I think they definitely possibly can make it. But do you think will they make it to the playoffs?
All I care is that him and Davante Adams have a good rapport and they score a lot of touchdowns. I don't care if they win or lose, just score a lot of touchdowns to help me out in my fantasy league. Other than that, Aaron Rodgers can, you know.
Wow, what a hater. How does it feel to carry that much hate all the time? Don't you feel tired?
No, it's absolutely great. It's what drives me, you know.
God, good Lord, mercy. JG, what you think?
With the new playoff rules where they're allowing 2 extra teams to get in, they got a chance. I got to see what their division's looking like. But I mean, hey, anytime Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs is good football, right? For the ratings and all that stuff. So they got a chance.
He's a quarterback that people love to hate.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, if you don't like him, that's your prerogative. If you do like him, that's your prerogative as well. But he is one of those teams. Like I never could understand what Detroit would always play these Christmas games. I'm like, before they got good, I was like, why? So I guess some people just have the football guys on their side. He's one of them that people cheer for and cheer against. I think if they make it, I don't think they're going to see the Super Bowl. I just don't see it. Unless there's a lot of people getting hurt. But will they make the playoffs? Yeah. I think they'll make it through a wild card. I don't necessarily think they'll make it straight up. But any given Sunday, man, you never can tell. You never can tell.
They're 3-6 now. Oh, go ahead.
Ooh, never mind. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't like this, we won one game, guys. So yeah, now we can beat everybody. You know what I mean? Win another game.
Well, I think that's just talk, bravado talk, trying to get his players inspired. So I don't think he really believe. I hope, but now
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he believes in himself. I don't definitely think he believes in that team.
And he thinks he was almost perfect.
Yeah, I definitely think he believes in himself, but whether or not his team can do it, I don't think Aaron Rodgers believed that.
Well, first off, I almost took the Jets in our picks because Diggs is out, so that's a big hurt. Diggs may not be the wide receiver for the Texans, but he helps the wide receiving group perform better. So I think that took a lot away from the Texans. So I almost went with the Jets. So one, you get the Texans when they're not at 100% and they haven't quite figured it out because they're just now having to figure out how are we going to deal with Diggs' absence. Two, they're 3-6 right now. I think it is, or is I think they're 3-6.
They're 3-6.
Yeah.
They have the Bills one more time, and they have the Dolphins twice still. And the Dolphins, I don't know if they're going to make it to the playoffs. I don't know how good they're going to get. But they got Tua back for however long that might last or might not last. And that means that they've got a good chance. And I mean, I don't think this Jets team is able to beat Miami Dolphins team that, can score a lot of points. I just don't think they can. Now, the defense for the Jets isn't too bad, but I look at it that way. So if you count those three as being possible losses, now you're at 3-9. Then you have the Rams and you have the Cardinals, which both aren't horrible. They're not great, but they're almost like the Jets. So, I mean, will they make it to the playoffs? They might, but it's not the time to figure that out now. Currently, the way they've been playing, no, they're not going to make it to the playoffs. But the way they looked this past week, they very well could be a playoff team. This is the closest the Jets have been in like 500 years to even thinking they might be in.
They just need to give Adams more playing time.
Yeah, Mister. You're the one with Adams, aren't you?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why.
Now we know why. Hey, check your mic there, Anzo.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, but they could. If they play like they did yesterday or Thursday, they definitely could. But I'm going to lean on the side right now. No, they're not.
Okay. All right, next thing. Stephen A. thinks, I'm going to play this clip, that Russell Wilson could take the Steelers to the Super Bowl. Let's play this clip. Where you at?
DNA tells no lies.
This is the person that's not a Russell Wilson fan too. Now let that sink in, y'all.
Russell is going to lead the Steelers to a championship in the AFC North. I shouldn't have said championship, to a division title in that North. You believe it or not?
I'm going to go not, because I still believe that the Baltimore Ravens are the team to.
Let me change that question. That question was posed. I don't think Stephen A made it, but that question what was posed. Can Russell Wilson lead it to Super Bowl? That was the question, though. I don't want to misquote.
Okay.
In the AFC North. I love the way Russ has been playing so far. Drastically, we've seen this offense change. You see Calvin Austin Jr. catching this touchdown on the corner route deep in the end zone. George Pickens catching a corner route as well. Russell Wilson's ball placement. He's still one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL, but I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to still win that division.
Shefty, they're 6-2. The Steelers are at their bye. Should we just be assuming that for the foreseeable future, Russell Wilson is their starting quarterback?
Well, he's won the last 2 games. He's played well. The offense has attacked in a different kind of way. And until they lose games or he doesn't play well, then I think he's going to continue to be the quarterback. We said the same thing about just.
I told y'all Russell Wilson wasn't done yet. I told you, but I'm just gonna let the play go. Just gonna let the play do it for him. Let's skip to this part.
The first 6 weeks with Justin Fields. SA. Tell me this. Obviously, this is your squad. Do you feel like Russ makes Pittsburgh a Super Bowl threat?
I think so. I'm not trying to say they're the favorites, but you've got to pay attention to them. They're number 1 in the AFC North. They're a game ahead of the Baltimore Ravens. We've been talking about Baltimore Ravens, but we've also been talking about slippage on Kansas City's offense, okay? And we wonder that even though we know the greatness of Patrick Mahomes to ultimately lift you, and we give major props to Kansas City's defense, the bottom line is we look at Buffalo. You got Amari Cooper. They've upgraded. Obviously, you look at Baltimore. They've been shaky defensively. You look at Kansas City. They've been shaky offensively. You look at Houston just suffering the Stephon Diggs injury, okay? And we got to wonder how that's going to affect the team. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have no questions about their defense. Offensively, with Justin Fields, averaging 20.7 points per game with 293 yards in the 6 games that he played with a 4-2 record. They've won 3 straight, okay? Russell Wilson, 2-0 in those 3 games. He had the 2 starts. 31.5 points, 417.5 yards. That's more like it. If you're telling me that Russell Wilson could continue to look this way with the Steelers defense led by the one and only TJ Watt, that brother right there. If you're talking about that, I can't dismiss the Pittsburgh Steelers as a threat when your defense is led by that man. That's what I'm saying.
So I know it's gonna warm Nzo's heart, so I'm gonna let him go first. Do you think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will make it to the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I think they're going to make the Super Bowl every year. So that's for me that question. I'll never say no.
Okay, well, when you come right now, you're in La La Land. Come back down to earth for about 30 seconds. Do you think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year? Let me ask that question.
100%. Yes, absolutely. I will say that. Yes, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I believe they have either, if not the number 1, number 2 or 3 top defense in the league right now. Russell Wilson is not, I know he's not the greatest quarterback, 100%. I still think he's very overrated, but I also think he's capable enough to keep the offense to score some points, so that their teams can win games as long as their defense plays on point. So yeah, 100%. I think they can go to Super Bowl. I think the Steelers can beat anybody out there right now.
I will say now, at the same, if I'm not mistaken, the same age when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos and won, and Russ Wilson and now he looks way better than Peyton Manning did physically.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Chris, what do you think? Do you think the Steelers have a chance of getting there? How they look to you so far?
Give me just a second. I want to look something up real quick. Let JG talk first, and I'll come back to me, please. Hold on.
JG, what you got? What you thinking?
Do they have a chance? Absolutely. Will they? Heck no.
Watch your mouth, JG.
It's been 1 game, 1 or 2 games. All of a sudden, Russ Whisker taking to the Super. Come on, everybody. The NFL's wide open right now, right? So anybody has a chance that's got a pretty good, at least wild card record right now. But is it going to happen? No. Unless some top teams get knocked off before they play them, then they got a better opportunity. But nah, these juggernauts in the AFC, nah. Mm-mm.
Watch
see
your
it.
mouth, JP.
Don't see it.
Watch your
Not
mouth.
going to happen.
Who's the juggernaut in the AFC?
You got the Bills. You got the
Bills
Chiefs. Of course, you
record
can
is
never
what?
Chiefs. They're champions until they get defeated.
The Chiefs. I'll give you the Chiefs.
The Bills.
Bills are
You got
record. Bills record is what? How many games have they lost?
2.
It doesn't matter. What does that matter, Nzo?
Losing games means a lot.
Well, but
Look,
the Steelers have lost 2. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not saying they didn't lose.
No,
Baltimore is 5. Baltimore is 5-3. Buffalo is 6-2. I don't see the Steelers record. Steelers is 6-2 as well. So right now, go ahead. I'll say my thoughts.
So I'm saying this: if you're gonna sit there and say they're not, the juggernauts and this, and they have the same records as the Bills, then wouldn't the Steelers be considered a
you're not
juggernaut
listening,
too?
brother. You're not listening. Your fan glaze is going on right now.
No. You said with all the juggernauts. You said with all the juggernauts
in the AFC right now.
Yes.
You cut me off when I was talking, like you always do. But these juggernauts in the AFC right now, they have a chance. I just don't think they will make it through unless some of those other juggernauts get knocked off and they have a better opportunity.
Now you can actually listen to what I was saying, which was if you're saying it, well, then maybe don't, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So if you're saying with all these juggernauts in the AFC and the Steelers are leading the AFC, wouldn't they be considered one of those juggernauts?
I guess classification would be what is a juggernaut. I don't think there's a juggernaut right now in the AFC. No, I don't think there's a juggernaut. But
when I say juggernauts, I mean the typical teams that always are usually in that divisional playoff game towards the end. That's what I'm talking about. Pittsburgh is just now.
Pittsburgh is always in the talk.
Exactly.
Because they had
never had a losing season since Tomlin's been there.
Exactly.
So last season they were in the talk to making the Super Bowl.
What?
I didn't say Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
They were in the talk to making the AFC divisional game.
So then there's only 2 juggernauts because only 2 teams make those division.
So now all it takes is
okay. I got you.
All right, hold on. Any team right now that is at least 500 is in the talk for the Super Bowl, for the playoffs, whatever you want to say. Any team right now. The past 2 years, especially because of rules changes and other things, have been so crazy in the NFL. We have seen teams that have no right to win certain games, win games. So right now, it's, are you above 500? Yes. Do you have a good defense? Yes, they have one. They have a number 9 defense. It's in the top 10. They are currently leading, which puts them in a good position of their division. Which, if they win their division, puts them in a better position. Whether or not they get the bye or not, they at least get a home game. There's a lot of good things going on. I think, and I said this with the Broncos, with Russell Wilson, there was no way in the world he was going to fix their problems because they gave up way too much and they decimated that team. The Steelers had a good foundation, and this is what you get. I never said Russell Wilson was done. I just said I don't know what they thought. He was not the type of quarterback that was going to come into Denver and change the landscape there because you didn't give him anything to do with. You've given him, I won't say great pieces, I'll say decent, solid pieces in Pittsburgh. And you see what he did. He's done pretty well. I don't know yet, though, if they can withstand a tough defense. They have a tough defense. It's very difficult to say how that's going to go when you get 2 tough defenses against each other because those are normally very muddy games, very difficult games. And then the other thing that comes up the question is how durable is Russell Wilson for the rest of this time? Maybe that's why they kept him out this long. I don't know. But are they a possible contender for the Super Bowl right now? Absolutely. I don't know if they're going to make it there, though. I think there's a lot of question marks with durability for Russell Wilson. That still gives him Justin Fields, but Justin Fields has some durability questions too. And they're not the type of team that can sustain any one major injury. And primarily the worst one for them is TJ Watt right now, because that defense is the only thing that's helping them absolutely win these games.
Yeah, but the biggest problem too is no wide receivers. You know what I mean?
And that's my point right there. Is like Russell Wilson's doing a very good. Well, you see, but like I said, they're not great, but they're decent and they're good at what they can do what they're doing.
But the
I don't
only
even
thing you can honestly say, the only
Go
thing you can honestly say is great right now is the Kansas City Chiefs. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Baltimore, the team that everybody thought was so great, lost to these crappy teams. They lost to Cleveland. What they lose to? You know what I mean? Games that they should not have lost to. So
that's my point, though. Is like anybody who's 500 right now can be in the talk because the world of football has been so crazy the past couple of years. But I'm going to say, Pittsburgh's one of the most solid teams right now. They are. So yeah, I mean they're in a conversation. They could make it, but I just think there's some questions there for them to make it that far. But we'll see.
I think they got a good chance of making it. I hate that taste. It's going over my tongue. But they got a chance to make it. They're more impressive than I thought it was. I still believe in Russell Wilson. I think he's the most seasoned definitely most seasoned quarterback between Fields. And I think that he still got something in the tank. I think he got a chip on his shoulder. Mike Tomlin is a good coach. Like Nzo did say, he hasn't had a losing season since. So I believe if there's magic, if the football guys looking their way, I think that they could do it. Now, whether they make the Super Bowl, because like you said, they're going to go through the Bills, they're going to go through Kansas City. That's going to be tough. But if things go their way, they could definitely make it. They could definitely make it. So I can't sit here and hate for the sake of hating, but they got a good. I think they got a good chance. Does anybody else?
To be fair too, we're like almost halfway through the season. Anything can happen in the second half as well, right? But if we're going on with what's going on today, like right now, absolutely 100%.
I'm going on what I've seen.
With right now.
Pittsburgh Steelers is a gritty team.
They've always been a gritty team.
They win a lot of ugly games. I'll take an ugly game than a beautiful loss any day.
I think if you see the Pittsburgh Steelers ever have a flashy offense that wins games more than the defense does, that you've seen a fundamental change in what the Pittsburgh Steelers are.
They had that one year with Le'Veon and Antonio. They had that.
Yeah, but still, they still had a really good defense. So I mean, it's always
they had a fire offense.
Yeah. But I think that was when they had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon. I think that was one of the times they had like the best offense they've ever had. To be honest with you.
Yeah. What was I was going to say something, but I lost it, so it doesn't really matter.
All right. Let me go to the next thing. We're going to switch gears now into a little bit of basketball. I don't know if any of y'all watch it, but I guess the return of Ja Morant. He played against the Bucks, and bro, like he don't miss a step. Like he hadn't missed a step. I think he scored. The score was 122-89. I believe Ja Morant scored like 24 points, 8 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds, and they made the Bucks look very, very old. So, 2 questions: do you think Ja Morant got his head on straight and will his last? And 2, do you think that Giannis is getting tired of losing because Dame Time was supposed to come there and change the landscape of Bucks Nation, but that don't seem to be happening. I don't know whether those 2 players I don't know why they can't get on the same sheet. They should be complimenting each other, but they're not. So do you think Giannis is going to get tired of this? Because now there is a rumor out there in the story that's starting to form that maybe he's looking to go to somewhere like the Warriors or maybe go to Miami Heat. So what do you think? I'll start off with you, JG. Go ahead.
As far as Ja Morant remains to be seen. I don't think he has to head on straight. I think publicly it appears that way, but I think privately he's still going to be doing the same old. But yeah, it's early on. I'm gonna give him a chance. Memphis is a it's one of those cities that can just like, take you in and spit you out if you don't be careful. So, as far as Giannis, I think it was a big mistake in Damian Lillard. I just don't think they fit well together. Damian's a scoring guard. I thought Drew Holiday was better fit, but
I did too.
If you're going to get rid of Drew Holiday, Chris Paul thought would have been a good fit, even though he's older. I mean, every team he's on, he still makes moves, right? He still helps that team. So
they lost a defensive-minded guard as well. Because Drew Holiday is like all defense. But go ahead.
But I think Miami Heat, if it were me, if I was Giannis, Miami Heat, I think that fits more his game style. That gritty defensive, are we gonna play our hearts out, never quit. And I said go to state in the same way. They're a little more finesse. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all about fit.
Chris, what's your thoughts, Chris?
I mean, I don't disagree. I've said it before that, two good players don't necessarily make a good fit. It's about can they put aside their personal wants, their personal goals. People like, for instance, Pippen and Jordan, Kobe and Shaq. Sometimes they do, and even then you can feel the tension there. I don't think that anything's quite where they need to be right now. And what was the first question? I'm sorry. My brain.
Ja Morant, I think.
Oh, he's never going to have his head straight. I don't think he ever will. But hey, listen, if it's smoke and mirrors right now, I guess that's what makes it work, right? I mean, again, JG, said it right now. It appears that way publicly. We'll see, but I don't know if he's going to have his head on straight for like the foreseeable future. Right now, it appears that way. We'll see.
Okay, Nzo, what you thinking, bro?
I don't know if he's gonna have his head on straight. I have no idea. What I will say though, there is absolutely no reason that Giannis and Dame should not be working. There's no reason. Dame played with LaMarcus Aldridge for the first half of his career or whatever, and they were great. Giannis is supposed to be a 10 times way better player than LaMarcus Aldridge. So the fact that they're not working, it makes no sense to me. But I also say this. I said it before and I'll say it again. This is overrated.
Who's overrated?
Giannis.
Okay.
Giannis is overrated.
So, just because I'm just asking this question, not going at you. If you are considered an MVP in whatever league you play, you think that's still grounds to consider that person overrated?
Well, if you only had like 1 or a good 2 years and you've been in the league for how long has he been in the league for? Kind of, yeah, 100%. Right? He's lost to Kawhi Leonard, who played straight up defense on him and pretty much stopped Giannis in that Toronto series. There is absolutely no way that Kawhi Leonard, even though he's a great defender, should be able to stop Giannis from doing whatever he wants to do on this court. There's no way. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Big men of the past, you put Kawhi Leonard on them, and they would have eaten him up. They would have ate his food up. Kevin Garnett, Duncan, well, Shaq was a beast. He eats up anybody else. But I'm just talking about other big men. There's no way. Giannis is overrated. Giannis overrated.
Okay. I won't say he's overrated. I'm trying to think of a word that doesn't mean overrated. I think Giannis is good. I would definitely pick him if I had to like sort up a team. I think he can improve on his skill set. He's not a good shooter at all, so he needs to definitely work on his shooting.
How about overvalued?
Mm.
I won't say overvalued because he won a championship.
True.
I think that he needs to. I don't know if he's improving on his game. I think he's still depending on what brought him to the show, that got him to the show. But once you get to the show, you have to still practice and still improve. The great players, in my opinion, on the offseason, they improve a different part of their game. I don't see any evolution in his game. He still plays hard, rebounding, dunking. Most of his scores are dunking or very short, but he needs to improve, I think, in his mid-range game. He needs to improve on the way the game is evolving now. Three-points are seem to be things that everybody is gravitating to. So I would work on that. He don't have to be proficient, but at least low 30%. That would make him more of a threat.
I don't think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No, I was just gonna say I don't think Giannis is not a good player. I just think he's overrated, right? And he's very good. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But at the end of the day, I just think, like you said, he could do more. He should be doing more. He should be dominating the league. There shouldn't be, because I think he does a lot of things that Joel Embiid can't do, and he should be like controlling the East, and he's not.
That's because his game is limited. Like I said, if Giannis would have played 15, 20 years ago, he'd have been dominating. But now the game is gravitating more towards the 3-point, the longer shots. He doesn't have that in his game. He just doesn't. I think he took us by storm to win the MVP and win the championship because he played with such passion and such ferocity. And I don't know if there was much video footage on him, but now we live in a world now where, man, you can pull up video footage on anybody. And I think they've learned his game. They're focusing more on his weaknesses, but he has to improve. He has to, every year when you go out on the off season, you need to improve a different part of your game. You need to improve your footwork, improve your IQ of the game, improve your passing, and improve your shooting. I think of some players, they went to bank shots. That's the thing in the past. But there's some people in the off season, they went and learned more bank shots and more different things. So when you see people are starting to kind of get your number, you got to do something like, okay, they've never seen this before. I think if he does that, then that will push him back up into the stratosphere. But I agree 100% with what Nzo said. There's no reason him and Damian shouldn't be working better than they are.
Well, again, no reason. There's that. It's happened before. We've seen it before. Paper doesn't always mean it translates.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what.
I'm
not saying. I know. I'm just saying.
No,
you're right.
the
There is no reason.
The reason why I'm saying it just real quick is because I agree with that. Sometimes you may put something together that doesn't seem right. But he's played with a center, like a dominant center, like LaMarcus Aldridge. He's played with that already, right? So that's what I'm saying. So he should be able to play with Giannis because he's played that kind of style basketball before.
Should be, but I can't give you a reason. I'm just saying. Again, you put two people together, it doesn't always work. And I've seen it. I've seen it in baseball. I've seen it in football, hockey, everywhere. That sometimes you put two people together where the first thing they'll tell you is I just don't see how it's going to work, and then it just becomes this powerhouse combination. And other times, again, I don't know how much we knew about Pittman and Jordan. That's probably one of the best examples I can give you. I don't know how much we really knew about what their dynamic was off the court. This many years later, we've seen the documentaries. We've heard we've heard what has to be said about it. How did that work? How did that even work? Jordan's considered the best player of all time for the NBA, and maybe that's why, because they just knew it was Jordan's game. He was going to get what he wanted anyways. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're just happy because you win championships. I don't know. but sometimes what makes sense doesn't happen. What doesn't make sense does happen. So I don't know what that reason is. I don't disagree with you though. It doesn't make sense, but it's not working. So
Yeah, one of the ones I've seen now most recent is and we saw it if you watch NBA, Kyrie and Luca didn't work at first. You watched that first season together, it was like, ugh. But now they figure out a way. When Kyrie's hot, Luca kind of sits back, but we all know who the closer is. When he's hot, Luca's gonna close the game. But then when Luca's shot's not falling, he concedes to Kyrie because Kyrie is considered one of the best guards finishing at the basket that there is. So they figured it out. I don't know how they figured out but whatever Damon and the Greek freak Giannis, they need to go somewhere and figure it out. If they can't figure it out, then he's traded somewhere else. I kind of think Giannis is probably getting tired of Milwaukee anyhow.
You know what I
sure.
think, Danny, too?
Go ahead.
I think they gave up a lot to get Dame too. You know what I mean? And kind of messed up their defense a while. And then you went and got Doc Rivers as a coach, and Doc Rivers, he's not a good coach.
Doc Rivers is getting a lot of criticism too. He's been on like 4 teams since the Celtics. So he's like you said, he's taking a lot of criticism too. So it's interesting. I've never been a Milwaukee Bucks fan. Didn't really care about them. Never really watched the games, even when Kareem was playing. It just does not seem like a team that I gravitate to. I mean, I watch them if they're playing somebody I want to watch, but I've never really pulled for them. Even when Giannis was drafted to them. So we'll see. We shall see.
And one big thing, I know you mentioned Kyrie and Luca. One thing I noticed that they did was sacrifice.
Yep.
Like you said, it's like, hey, Luca, you take the most shots, but when it comes to closing time, I'm the man. Give me the ball. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. And accountability.
There's understanding.
I noticed both of them.
I'm sorry, that's my phone. Go ahead.
I know it's both of them take accountability when they mess up. As far as the Bucks, I'm not saying they don't sacrifice. It's just, although you're right, they should be able to work. And I know you mentioned Aldridge, but those are 2 different players, man. Aldridge, to me, offensively, has a much more rounded game than Giannis does. So maybe Giannis needs to get that.
I don't think Giannis giving up no shots. I'm getting
the ball in their hands.
Getting my 30.
Yeah.
Right. And Aldridge could shoot. That's
Exactly.
what made Aldridge a little bit different, is he could shoot the mid-range jumper.
I think Aldridge is more fundamentally, he's not as athletic as Giannis, but he was fundamentally more sound than Giannis.
I love Aldridge too. One of my favorite players.
Yo, Dame and Aldridge together were fire. I wasn't a huge Portland fan, but I used to like watching those guys play together, man. They were really good.
Yeah. All right. Next door. We're gonna go to I tell you.
Here we go.
No, I'm a hater of this person. I don't like him at all.
Mike Tomlin. We're talking about Mike Tomlin there.
No, we're not. We are talking about Mr. JJ Redick. JJ Redick. I think that he's the smartest man in the room. I've seen him on First Take, other shows. He talks with a bit of disrespect to people. And then there are plenty more people that does it, but there is no way, in my opinion, he should have gotten this job over some of the other people that were interviewing for the job. He's never been a coach. He has 0 NBA experience as a coach. And he beat out, I think, the guy that was the current coach for Detroit. I don't like the way they did Darvin Ham. But of course, we all know he tries to act like it isn't, but we know it's LeBron's team. We know LeBron is pulling the strings. Let me change that. I feel very strongly he is pulling the strings behind the scene. I could be wrong. If I'm finding I am wrong, then I will say that I was wrong. But I don't think that I am wrong. And JJ is just one of his boys. And JJ is soon going to find out if things don't go the way that they should, he's going to be a scapegoat just like everybody else. But let's play a little bit of this clip. Where the hell is the clip at?
Come on, Danny, get your stuff together.
I'm telling you. I'm sure I'll mess it up. JJ embarrassed.
While you're looking for that, I will definitely say I do agree that LeBron James is pulling some of the strings behind the 100%. I also believe that JJ Redick got the coaching job is because LeBron can pretty much tell him what to do.
Exactly.
Yes,
I
sir.
agree.
But why would you want to get a coach like who's never coached before? And I get it. I'm not gonna say, you shouldn't do that because they've done it. Steve Kerr never coached before, and look where he is. But Steve Kerr also was, coached by Popovich, was an assistant coach for them, right? A lot of these coaches that may not have had too much experience, they've had at least some sort of coaching experience or something like that. You know what I mean? And you get a coach in there that's going to listen to LeBron and not have a coach that's going to question or want to do his own stuff. So
Yeah,
that's the reason.
yeah. Here we go.
Everybody wasn't thrilled with the second half, especially as it just has to be sharper.
Mistake free. I mean, I think you could make a legitimate case. We should have had 83. We had 2 outlet passes, one that was at Dalton's ankles, another one that went over LeBron's head. That's 4 points. And then, Dalton's charge, there were 2 guys wide open. We talked about that at halftime. It's like as good as we can play offensively. You watched the Charlotte game the other night. They got down big on the road and they kept playing and they turned that into a 138, 133 game. I think in the NBA, when you get a big lead, your focus can wane on the defensive end. And I thought that's what happened tonight. But you also have to give them a lot of credit. They play really hard. They just keep playing. And, I think for our team, all of that movement and driving and movement and driving, like it was tough for us to guard the other day with Cleveland, and it was tough for us to guard tonight. We'll certainly try to get better and clean some things up. We also have to start the third quarter better. That was probably the biggest thing. I think, you can try to put your opponent away there in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the third quarter when you have a big lead like that. And we allowed them to have life.
That's JJ Redick, and like I was said, I really believe, and like I said, I'm trying to be as fair about this as I can, and I'm not trying to show my disdain and dislike for Mr. James, but I definitely think that he pulled he used his influence to get JJ on there, like Nzo said, so he can tell him what to do, and then when things don't go right, the pattern has been in the past, or it was his fault, or this. But if you're great as you proclaim to be, and I'm not doubting or not saying that LeBron James is not great. He is one of the greatest players that will ever pick up that round ball and put it in the hoop. I'm not saying that. But sometimes, in my opinion, he doesn't take responsibility. Sometimes if you're the king, if you the greatest player in the world, if you're the GOAT, then when things don't go good, you got to stand up and say, hey, it's my fault. Or I shouldn't have done that. I don't think he does that enough. And I think he put things in place that when things don't go right, then the narrative can be, well, he didn't have enough help, or he had an inexperience. Because I'm telling you, if things don't go right, well, this is JJ Redick's first time as coach. He's a young coach. Okay, just don't put those things in there. Get somebody that has credibility. We all know you got credibility. We all know you got a top 75 player on your team now. You got your son in there who you proclaim is good and that he's a chip off the old block. And you got other role players. So go ahead out there and just play and don't make any excuses. Just play. If the chips fall your way, then people say you're the greatest. If it don't, then don't just have a built-in scapegoat in place. So if things don't go your way, then you can point the finger and like, it wasn't me. And that's what I think this season may end up being if things don't go the Lakers' way.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Boy, I mean, again, we don't have any confirmation how much LeBron has made this team what it is or how much say he had. Obviously, there's a lot of people saying that when Bronny was brought in, that they were calling people say, don't take him. we're going to take him. And there's some question about where he should have been drafted. Now they've made the call that he's going to go to I forget what the league's called now. What? Yeah, which is basically the developmental league. I mean, it's fine and dandy, but then the other thing is they literally basically said that they're going to put him there, and some games they're going to bring him back, and this back and forth. There's obviously some pull from LeBron on what's going on, and I think you're absolutely right there, Danny, with the great players. In order to be called great, they got to take responsibility when things don't go right necessarily. Whether or not it's absolutely their fault, if they don't win or if they lose a game or something, LeBron just should be saying, "Hey, I could play better," or we missed some crucial plays. We didn't perform as well as we should have. But he does come across as somebody who's eventually going to go like, well, this is a first year coach, and maybe he didn't see this, or maybe he didn't, chalk it up the way we should have done this play or whatever. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. He's probably most responsible for whatever happens to this team, whether or not he's the guy that can pull this team forward into the playoffs or whatever. LeBron has to look at it as it's his team. Big players have to take responsibility, even if they don't necessarily, even if they're not the ones responsible. But I think this team is teetering on I don't know, there's a cliff there, and it's very, very close to, if things start to go wrong, I think it goes really wrong. They've made it work so far. We'll see where they get. But the whole JJ Redick thing, I'm not really sure. I mean, again, there's only one answer. I think that's LeBron found a guy that'll let him kind of make the calls he wants when he wants to. Because a name coach in this league is not going to let LeBron say, "Hey, I want to do this," or I want this guy here, or I want a name coach is going to look at it and says, "No, I got a plan. I got a team. I got an idea for how to make this go forward." And I think JJ Redick's the guy that he's the yes man. He's going to let LeBron do what he wants.
JG.
One of the I won't say biggest, but one of the things where people try to put LeBron over Michael is Michael had a Hall of Fame coach. LeBron never has had one. But look, you're LeBron James. You can get any coach you want, right? Just show them the money. They'll come. That's the reason why, this is my personal belief, that he likes guys like JJ Redick, Darvin Ham, stuff like that, right? Because you said it yourself. He needs a scapegoat. Right, he wants control and needs a scapegoat. Now, granted, he is an MVP player. He is a championship player. Probably 2 or 3 of the top 75 players in the NBA history. So he has that right to have his say-so. Not arguing that. But there comes a time when you have to take some accountability. Not saying he never does, but it's always kind of, he's just, maybe just because I don't like him, I don't know. But it's like he loses, it's everybody else's fault. They'll be down 30, he'll score 20 in the last quarter. Well, I score my points. Look at my stats. That's kind of what I get from him.
Sometimes he does it.
No, say what?
You don't do it all the time. Sometimes he
don't do it all the time.
No, he takes credit. That's what I was gonna say. To be fair, sometimes LeBron does take credit for losses. I just don't think he does it enough.
Hold on, really quick, before you go forward. Look at what David just said, though. I think it's a really good analysis, a really good comparison. No, look at his, not that kind. There you go.
I suggest LeBron has as much pull as Aaron Rodgers. Then he should take responsibility more. Most definitely.
And that is a good comparison from an NBA to NFL. It's like I don't know how much pull Aaron has either, but he does.
Two things Aaron Rodgers did, I think, without shadow of doubt. He got his coach fired, he got Devontae Adams to the Jets.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think he
And,
had
and yeah, and to be fair, like any star player on a team usually have some sort of say,
They do.
right?
Mhm.
They're gonna ask Kobe. They're not just gonna pick a coach and say, "Hey, Kobe, we got this coach." They're gonna ask him, "What do you think about this coach? We're thinking about hiring him," and they're gonna have to get Kobe's approval or not, right?
Yeah.
So I think they
Mhm.
will do that with any star player. Now, do they give LeBron James more than normal? Probably. I won't say that they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
They give him a
at
whole
the,
lot more than normal.
but at the end of the day, like you want to keep your stars happy. I just think sometimes you have to draw a line on where it is to keep your stars happy.
I agree.
You know.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Stuff. Go ahead, JJ. Finish your thoughts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Well, like I said,
And it
he's
wasn't me that
earned.
cut you off that time. Just saying.
I know that was me. Sorry.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's earned that right to have his way, right? Because he does bring money to a franchise.
He does.
You can't hate on. I mean, he does.
That clown brings a ring to a franchise too.
Yep.
Nasty.
He has that pedigree. He can do that. I mean, Kevin Garnett in Minnesota, every decision they made, hey, Kevin, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? He has that right. I can't fault him for that. But it comes a time when you got to stop spoiling that. You got to quit sparing the rod. That's what I loved about the guy in Miami, Pat Riley. He said, "Hell no." Excuse my language. He said, "No, I'm not firing Spoelstra because you don't like him." No.
Yep, he
And
sure did.
sometimes LeBron needs that.
Yeah, Pat
Someone to
Riley.
tell him, no.
Pat Riley runs Miami. Don't get it twisted.
And so he can't have a Hall of Fame coach because the Hall of Fame coach is going to want to hit Doc Rivers. He's going to want his control.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's not going to give away control.
That's
Because
why
Doc Rivers
JJ's
going
there.
to call him out when he messes up. Yeah. LeBron doesn't want that.
The only one he listened to that I saw was Ty Lue.
Mm-hmm. But even with that, how much did he really listen to Ty Lue though, right? Because again, Ty Lue was one of those coaches like Ham and that where LeBron could tell him what to do, right? You think LeBron could tell a Pat Riley, not a Pat Riley, but
no, you're right. Pat Riley,
Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, or Popovich. You know, like, no, this is the play we're going to run. We're not running that. Absolutely not.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
So I think Ty Lue was still on that type of level.
I think Ty Lue had garnered some respect. If I'm not mistaken,
I agree.
Out of the ones that was his coach, I believe Ty Lue was the one he respected the most. I could be wrong.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think he did too. I think he respected him too. But I also think that, you know, if he had a disagreement, like what play to play or what play to use, LeBron trumps whatever Ty Lue wanted to do.
And I think Bradley checked LeBron too when he's in Miami. Like, hey, Spoelstra's my man.
Yeah,
we appreciate you, and you're a great player, but Spoelstra's the coach. I think it's one thing when you get your owner back in on that. Some of these owners maybe not as has a strong enough backbone or intestinal fortitude as Pat Riley does.
Mm-hmm. But I also think, and I'll say this real quick, I think you have to have, for LeBron to listen to a coach, it would have to be, and I'll say only two coaches, which would be Phil Jackson or Popovich. You know what I mean? Because they have the pedigree. Anybody else that you bring in there doesn't really, hasn't really done as much as LeBron has done. So it's like, well, why am I listening to you, right? I got 5 championships. I got 4 championships. You don't got any. Why am I listening to you? But now you put a Phil Jackson in there, and it's like, okay, well, you got 10. So yeah, I gotta listen to you. You know what I mean? You coached Michael Jordan, you coached Kobe Bryant, Popovich coached Tim Duncan and stuff like that, David Robinson. So yeah, those are coaches I think he would listen to, but only those two. I don't think anybody else.
I don't think he's bringing Phil Jackson after that posse comment he's made before. So this bad blow with those two. He ain't getting Phil. Popovich, I can really see.
I don't know.
I respect Popovich. I don't even like the Spurs. So
watch your mouth, JG.
Well, I said I don't like the Spurs. I said I respect Popovich.
I ain't a fan of Popovich either, but you can't deny his championship.
Watch your mouth too, Danny.
I ain't a fan of that clown.
I like
him.
I like you, Danny, but You're calling people clowns and shit. That's not gonna fly tonight.
Okay.
I like Popovich.
How about this? How about ass clown? Is that better?
Oh,
No, it's not. No,
oh.
no, it's not.
All right, we're gonna switch gears and go back to NFL. Our last two topics. Anybody got anything to say on this last topic before we switch over?
No,
Wait, hold on. I do got something to say about
Yes, sir.
because we never discussed it. Did you guys see that awful Dwayne Wade statue?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I would have been mad.
I was hoping not to talk about that, but okay.
They did his face wrong, man. I don't know who did, but he needed. In fact, if it was me, I'd pay. Look, man, here's $1 million or whatever. Man, redo my face because that looks terrible.
The biggest question is, how the hell did that get past people to say, yeah, this is what we're gonna reveal to?
Well,
I don't get it.
So they'll do a, like a quarter, 1/8 size thing, and when they do that, that model probably went and got okay, and maybe that was okay. But when you just like think about it this way, I know a lot of us do cooking or food. Sometimes when you cook for 4 people, tastes great, everybody loves it. Then you get 50 people. So man, you should do catering, and you go and you make the same thing for 50 people because you expanded it by so much. You're not ready for that part of it. Maybe that's what went wrong. Maybe they just didn't know the right amount of ingredients to make it work.
That's a good analogy because sometimes when you make a smaller portion, you can see it feels right, but you try to season something that's going to feed, say, 70, 80 people. Sometimes you can mix them up. Yep.
But here's my question though. Why not get the people that do the sculptures for the Hall of Fame? Like you look at those ones, they look perfect. Why not get these guys?
Some of those bust up don't look right neither.
Yeah.
I can't think of who it was. It was maybe TOs. They look a little off to me.
Maybe it's a local person they wanted to use a local artist. I don't know, but yeah, it needs to be redone. I mean, I don't know. All that stuff. It's always difficult.
If I'm Dwayne Wayne, I'm like, yo, you guys need to change this, take it down. That's not me. Because when he did
it should be taken down.
He looked at it and said, "Who the hell? Who's that guy? Did you see that?"
Anytime.
And the way they were expression, somebody was trying to. Stephen A was trying to explain it. It was a particular pose he did when something, but they should him doing a layup or a dunk or something. That doesn't look.
You want it to look perfect. You want people to know who it is. It's like when you see Jordan, like anything that's ever been done on Jordan
and Magic look good.
Yeah.
Well, but when you see those types of busts or the full size statues of like him going for that slam dunk and his tongue out and all that, you still want it to look like the person. You want it to look. It doesn't matter if that particular facial expression isn't going to help you in making sure people know who that person is. Then you want to pick something else. You want to say, okay, let's pick this. So maybe that's the other thing. Who picked that particular pose or whatever? Yeah. So there's a lot of things that probably went wrong in that.
For me,
I totally.
It doesn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I totally agree with you. Here's the thing: if you're trying to honor somebody, and it's obvious, and obviously it is obvious because a lot of people have talked about it, and again, maybe the next problem was when you saw it before you unveiled it. I would have said, let's not do this. Let's just say, hey, there were some problems with the manufacturing or the final step of this. It didn't come out right. We're not going to do this to him. We're trying to honor him, not shame him or whatever. Listen, if you think he's a good enough subject to have a statue made of, then you want it to be right.
Yeah, and for me, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean?
No,
It doesn't
no, no,
have
no.
to be perfect, but that looks nothing like Dwayne Wade. Like
He look like
Yeah, yeah.
And then the memes they have where they show him and Gabrielle their wedding, and it's that face on it. I was just like, oh my god, really?
God,
But
it's
you know
horrible.
what? With all that said, I'll take that over what Al Iverson got. 'Cause that
Yeah,
was
Allen
blasphemy
Iverson
what
was
he got.
trash. Yeah. Allen
Mhm.
Iverson was trash
I didn't
too.
see this one.
Oh god, he looked like a toy soldier almost.
Yeah, it was like a little ass statue.
Wow. We're gonna switch gears. Well, not NFL, but college, real quick. DQ. What do you think about Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes? They are 5-2 now. No, maybe 5-1. I just looked it up.
5-2. They're 5-2.
Who did they lose to? I only saw only see one
Lost to
loss.
K State and somebody else. I can't remember who it was.
I'm looking at it now.
Pretty
They
sure.
only, all they got is one loss.
I thought I looked and saw that they were.
They won against Colorado State. They won against Baylor. They won against UCF. They lost to Kansas City State. They won Arizona, and they beat Cincinnati.
Hold on.
They're on a bye this week, and they play next Saturday, I think, against Texas.
Overall, they're 6-2. So they lost to a non-con.
Okay.
I don't know who. I think it was the third or fourth game they lost. I'm looking.
They don't have it listed.
They lost to Utah. Oh, no, that was last year. Hold on. Nebraska. September 7th, they lost to Nebraska.
So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I like it when Deion's quiet because to me, when you're quiet and you're beating people butt and you win at the end, then that's when you can chirp. When you're all doing the season, you chirping and you're not winning. Well, if you're winning, that's one thing. But if you're losing, don't be chirping. I never was one of these players. I always said if my son was make NBA, son, don't talk no trash on these players. You just go out and kick their butts. And I was kind of like Tim Duncan. There ain't no need for trash talking. When you look at the stat sheet at the end of the night and you way above them, that's enough. That's all you got to say. Now, of course, there's going to be that one rival that that person that you may talk a little trash. But for the most part, all that trash talking is necessary, especially if I'm winning. Then at the end of the season, when I've won and I'm hosting up the trophy, then that's when I can really start chirping and say what I want to say all season long. I'll be using all that stuff and all that junk and all that bad media and all these sound bites they're taking, especially that big-eared white guy on First Take. What's his name? What's his name? He gets on my nerves with Deion Sanders. Fannenbaum. I would use everything he say as board material. As you see this? You see what Tom Fennenbaum, I think his name is? You see what he said? And at the end of the season, when I'm winning, when I won, that's when I let him have it. But good
what
job.
do I think about this?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, they're not doing bad. I mean, great for him. I totally agree. He's always talking. I mean, but I'm sorry, he can't not talk. So, this means nothing in the grand scheme of things to him and his son. This is until he can get a head coaching position in the NFL. And if he has to jump another time, he'll do it. The transfer portal makes it easy if he wants to.
I don't think he want to go to
willing to
NFL.
buy-
I don't think he want to coach NFL. I really don't.
I don't know, man.
You get to a D1 school, I think that's it.
Maybe. Well, he's in a D1 school. And he's in
D1?
Yeah, they're in the Big 12. I mean, they're in the major conference. They're in the conference of where I'm at, basically.
That should mean like a better conference, maybe.
I think he want to get to like SEC, maybe ACC college. He really wants that job with his alma mater. That's what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Maybe the point. I think if it's drafted someplace he wants to go, he'll try to go with his son. But I don't know that for sure. But yeah, just a stepping stone for him. It means nothing to him. This is play time for him. He doesn't. I don't think he's taking any of this seriously. Does he want to win? Absolutely. I'm not saying he does not want to win. Deion does not take losing easily. But this is just a stepping stone. So whatever the Buffaloes are this year, if he's there next year, whatever they are, it whatever. That's great. It doesn't really make a difference in anything right now. I don't pay attention to it because ultimately this isn't the Buffaloes of 2 years from now. So there's nobody there that's concerned with building a program. It's for him and his son right now. This is resume material. That's all this is.
All right. Nzo.
I don't watch college football, so it doesn't really bother me. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, sometimes I do like when there's a little bit of talking. You know, I like a little bit of trash talking every now and then. But I agree with you. I think when you're the coach, you might have to make it a little bit because what happens is you talk a lot and then you bring pressure on your players. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And if you're not playing, then you shouldn't be doing that. So that's the problem, I think. So I'm with you. I think as long as he keeps his mouth shut, he should be fine.
If you watch All That Smoke, Larry Johnson says him and what's the guy who used to play Alonzo Mourning when they were with the with the
Miami Heat.
No, not Miami. They were with
Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets. And he blocked Jordan's shot, Alonzo Mourning, and he's like, "Man, get this trash out of here!" Da, da, da. And boy said, "Look, no, just block the shot. Don't talk no junk because you ain't playing him. I gotta play him." And Jordan went on to score 40 points on that night. So they didn't say if you talking to junk and you playing the person one-on-one, that's one thing. But it's a horse of a different color. If you talking all the smack, then I gotta go out there and do the heavy lifting. So
Yeah,
I don't
those
think
kids
any
are.
coach. Yeah, I don't think because you know they're teeing in on his son. So why
Yeah.
he already got a target on his back? So why even make that target even more crystal clear by talking junk and stuff? The same way, and I'm going to use this. And Bronny James got the biggest target on his back that has ever been put on anybody's back in NBA history. Not because I haven't heard him talk any kind of junk, and I really haven't LeBron talk any kind of smack about how great his son is. But because he's LeBron James' son, there's going to be a certain level of expectation that the apple's going to fall from the tree, and I don't think it is. But he got a big target on his back now. So I am 100% glad that they sent him back to the G League, not because I hate LeBron James or dislike LeBron James' and son, but I think his son need more reps. He need more reps. He need more playing time. Once he get those reps and playing time, then he maybe come back and kill it. Because there have been a lot of players that have played in the G League that got the reps, got the playing time, got their confidence built up, and come back and killed it. So I think it's a fantastic move that he moved his son back to the G League.
You know who I think had a bigger target on their back than Bronny did though?
Who?
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, because the dad was talking all that junk. Yeah,
because his dad was talking that junk. I think that target that his father put on his back pretty much. Well, I mean, he's still playing, but he's not. No one's talking about him. It ruined his career. Absolutely.
Well, and with Bronny though, I think that target's magnified because there's questions on how he ended up on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And whether
I agree
again,
with you on that,
you don't have to talk about it. LeBron doesn't have to be talking. They're just people saying, "Well, look at this."
Yeah,
right. And I agree with you 100%. But when you have your father coming out there saying that you're better than Steph Curry and all the players in the NBA, that put a target on him from not just Steph Curry, but from everybody in the league because everybody was trying to show him up.
Then you know what? Why he did it so much with one and not the other?
Yeah, I know.
Like he kind of sabotaged his first son's, like you said,
career.
Why did that?
Because I think he always thought Melo was better. Yeah, I always think he always thought Melo was better. To be honest with you,
I think the youngest son is better.
Yeah, Melo,
yeah.
But yeah, why hurt you? You're supposed to be helping your kids. Why do that? All that.
JG.
I ain't never bought no what do you call it? 3B merch.
Triple B.
You don't even wear the shoe no more.
Man. Didn't the shoe tear at one time he wore it?
Yep.
Yeah. Man. Come on, Mr. Ball.
Yeah, 100%. And then they had a business partner that stole from them and all kinds of
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, it was just ridiculous. I think that's what put I don't disagree that the target on Bronny is huge, but I think that target that he did was
I have
was
to
worth
agree after you said that.
Yeah.
This is one thing right here. We're not going to talk about it, but I'm just going to go over what I said last week about a certain person's. Whenever I see them, I'm distracted. Look at this.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
No, what's wrong with it? He has a hat on, okay, the hat, but he has on a nice white suit with the bow tie. I mean, but I don't think it's bad.
That's too much, man.
First of all, if you're gonna wear the bow tie, wear it proper. I've seen nobody wear it with the collars up like that. The hat looked like a Smokey from doggone, like he went from Canada. What do you call them people from Canada that wear the Smokies?
Mountie.
Like he got on a Mountie hat on. He got on sunglasses inside the building. The sweater ain't bad, but a sweater with a bow tie and a coat, I've never seen that combination. Like,
is that a sweater? Oh, that is a sweater. I thought it was a vest.
Yeah,
that's a V-neck sweater.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So,
I think he's worn worse than that, though, Danny.
He has worn worse, but I'm saying this is a distraction. I ain't come here to talk about your wardrobe. Look at there. That's night and day. Stephen A. got a nice suit on, shirt, tie. Look at that right there.
You see Stephen A's reaction right there, though. He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you wore this."
When you wear stuff, all I'm saying is, if you wear stuff to look like a clown, people gonna think you're a clown.
That's all I'm saying. I don't think it looks like a clown.
What does Jay-Z think about Sanders?
Yeah, because I skipped over again, man. You know, guys don't like my takes.
I try.
Because I tell the truth, man. You guys don't appreciate the truth. I'll be telling.
No, I don't know about that, man. Wasn't it just 3 weeks ago that you missed like a whole week of games?
Hey. I had a good reason.
Yeah, he had weed that weekend.
Hey. Maybe listening. Look, prime time is always been prime time, man. He's, you talk to Florida State fans for years, and Miami Hurricane fans, they'll tell you people that go there, they all talkers. That's all they do. Even when Deion loses, he talks. So, like Chris said, you can't stop him from talking, right? No one can save him from himself. It's just not going to happen.
I agree with what you said. What I'm saying is, when he was talking, he was on the baseball diamond. When he was talking, he was on the field. He was backing it up. Now he can't do that no more. So why are you going to put an even bigger back on your sons and your team's back by chirping? Because you know everybody and their mama going to focus in on him. That's why Travis Hunter, what Travis Hunter is his star player that plays both ways. That's why he got hurt last season.
Well, you guys said it already. You guys already said it. People love to watch him lose. He knows the more he talks, the more media attention he's going to get, the more people are going to watch his games. They just want to see him lose.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have Hollywood celebrities, everybody on the sidelines, and it's just it's. I'm sorry, I hate it, but it's good TV, right? I want to see him lose. He gets on my nerves, but it's prime time. That's what he does.
I don't want to see him lose. I want to see him win, but I just want him to win more quietly.
Oh no, there's no quiet with him.
Ain't gonna get that.
Even when he had the Jerry curl, he's still talking. I mean, he's just a talker.
I met him in real life. That cat, he's something. That's all I can say.
All right, NFL.
All right, we got last topic. Cowboys. Yep, we got to talk about them.
Everybody's favorite.
Must win. Is this a must win for them?
Yes.
Up, Cowboys at Falcons. Brew, it's your upset alert pick. So we know you think the Cowboys are going to win. Let's take a look at the numbers. Dak agrees it's a literal must win for him.
Nope.
No.
Why can't you see it? I know I got shared on there.
There you go. All right.
Pick. this a must-win for the Cowboys?
Dak really didn't give it the must-win.
You know what?
Because he said every game's a must-win.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Dak is just by the book in the press conference. He's going to say all the right things, all the cliches, and that's what he did.
It'd be weird if you're like, nah, we could lose this one.
That's true, too. He's got to say it's a must-win. But it is a must-win for the Cowboys. Mathematically, they'll still be alive, but they got a tough schedule. And as you know, as respectable as Atlanta is, when you look at the teams on their schedule, Dallas going forward, if they can't beat Atlanta, then you got Philly, who's playing well. Houston has been struggling, but still a good team. Washington twice. I mean, look at that. The schedule. Cincinnati.
It's also a must-win because what do Detroit, San Francisco, and Atlanta all have in common? They're teams you anticipate are going to be playoff teams in the AFC. Teams that, if the Cowboys were
NFC
playoffs,
yeah,
probably play one of those teams in the first round, assuming they're not playing a divisional opponent in the first round. So unequivocally, it's a must-win.
Yeah.
I don't think the Cowboys are as bad as they've looked.
Mm-hmm.
However, you look bad enough, long enough, that just is who you are. And the defensive injuries do concern me. The Diggs all of a sudden popping up on the Jerry Jones injury report.
So, do you think Dallas was a must win? I will say, as much as I don't like Dallas, I do think a lot of their problems two of the main problems. They don't have a running back worth a hill of beans. I probably could run just as well as Ezekiel Elliott's. And two, they losing two. They got two of their biggest stoppers hurt. That would be Micah and Lawrence. So defense they're hurting. So what do you think? Is this a must win for them, Nzo?
Yeah, 100%. They had a good chance to win that game with the 49ers, and I think Dak is an issue. Dak is definitely an issue. He's putting up way too many interceptions.
He is overpaid.
I agree. Yeah, no. From what he's been showing right now, 100%. I think he has the last time I seen it, I think it was 6 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, or it's close, right? Some of his interceptions were on him, completely on him. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think some of these players, when they get that money, their game changes, and I hope that's not the case with him. But at the same time, I think, Cowboys definitely need to win this game. They do have a lot of injuries as well, but I think Dak needs to play better. I think
he's 10-8. He got 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Right, so it's close. You know what I mean? And I think last year, Dan, I think he had 6 interceptions all of last year. You know what I mean?
Last year he was in the running for
MVP, right?
MVP. All right, yeah. Chris, what you think?
I'm just wondering how long McCarthy's going to be held on to. This guy can't.
Let me real quick. Yeah, 32 touchdowns last season. Nzo had 8 interceptions.
8 interceptions. Okay, so all year he had 8. Now we're halfway in the season and he has 8.
Yep.
That's
he ain't getting 32 touchdowns. I don't foresee that.
Neither.
Well, one, I still don't understand why McCarthy's there. Not that I give a crap one way or another. I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Because McCarthy's a yes man, and Jerry Jones surrounds himself with yes men.
Oh, okay. I know why he's there.
I just told
Jones is. I know. I understand that Jones is never going to want anybody there that pushes back. I think the last coach they had that ever pushed back against Jones was Johnson, probably.
Yep.
And look what happened. I mean, if you're an owner,
if I was him, I wouldn't even took that ring of honor. I'd have told him
no. But anyways, that's the big problem, I think, is the coach. I mean, Dak is a good quarterback. He's not the greatest, by any means. I think, yes, injuries are playing a part of this. No running back is obviously playing a part of this. Let's be honest. Even if they win this game, even if they win the next 6 games, does anybody here really believe they're going to make it much farther than the first or second round of the playoffs?
No, they're not going to Super Bowl.
My point is, that's my point. It doesn't. You call it a must-win game. What does it matter? And I think, unfortunately for people like Dak, Dak could probably go to another team, and be a very good quarterback for them and do much better somewhere else. I think it's the culture because Jerry Jones refuses to admit that things don't go the way he wants. And I mean, look at it. People were pressuring him early on this season. And then he just went ahead and signed contracts and just boom, boom, boom. We're done. Okay, great. No, but that doesn't fix a problem. They're a dysfunctional team primarily because their owner. I mean, hell, let's just be honest. Since the Washington Redskins, or whatever you want to call them, the Commanders, have changed ownership groups, look at the culture that's created now in Washington. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but obviously things have gone in a better direction. And now Jerry Jones has become primarily next to who owns the Browns now.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, those are like the two teams, the trouble teams, the teams that always think throwing money at it's going to be a thing and all that. But the Cowboys have almost become the new Washington, with the fact that it's all or nothing. It's the owner's way or nothing. And so, I mean, sure, the next game is a must win. Sure, why not? Even if it wasn't, doesn't matter. I don't think this team's got any hope in the current state that it is in, and I have no clue how they're ever going to get that past Jones.
Jimmy Haslam.
Huh?
Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah.
He's the Cleveland Browns owner.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the Browns,
You know what I think, Chris? I think Jerry Jones figured out everything that we overlooking it. I don't care about winning. I'm the most relevant team on the planet. I'm the most richest team on the planet. And I don't have to win because people are still going to watch me. People are still going to play tickets. My merchandising is still in the top 5. So who cares? Life is
that
good.
comes from ignorant fans who have no stake in it. They just want to be a part of something. And that comes, and now that's not against him, because that means marketing. His marketing has brought in millions of fans who could care less about the NFL because of that star. And I totally agree with you. You're right. He doesn't absolutely care, but I think I don't know. I think there's still part of him that wants another Super Bowl.
I don't think he.
I
I
have
don't
to give up that. You know.
I think if he gets it, it's fine. But I think he's like the Pied Piper that plays that, and people get him behind because you see more stars than any other team.
Yeah.
The fans are so they get on my nerves. But he figured it out. Why do I have to win? Why do I have to pay people more than what I really want to pay them? Why do I have to get people here? Because I'm still going to get the TV funds. I'm still the number one team. I'm worth more than any other. So now I've already got 4 rings. You got 3.
Yeah.
I know for certain he got 3, but I think he got 4 rings under his tenure.
He sells out 100,000 seat stadium every week. He gets Final Fours. He'll get another Super Bowl. I mean, I know. Yeah, no. He has what he wants.
Yeah,
which is money.
Yep. What you think, Nzo? What did you already say?
Sorry, go ahead. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Is it a must-win for Dallas?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think I said that. I think they do need to win. And like I said, we talked about the problems, but I think Dak has to play better for sure.
JG, must win.
Yep, every game from here on out is a must win for them. I'm really truly believing more in that Jimmy Johnson curse every game. It seems like it's because they have the talent. They just can't do anything with it. I can't believe I said something positive about them. But
they got the talent on one side. Offensively, they don't have the talent. Well,
they got a little bit, but they don't have enough.
Running back, they don't have the talent. I finally had to wake up from this fog that I was in with Ezekiel Elliott.
And remember last year, those numbers Dak put up, the first 2-3 games, they were playing pretty much Pee-wee squads. I mean, Dak's throwing up numbers all over the place. Then he ran up to a team that actually can do something to him. Then you start seeing who Dak really was.
Yeah. If he's ahead, Dak is deadly. If he's behind, he's deadly.
I think you put it out there though. If you want to talk about what's going on the field, they need a running back. Again, I don't know why they brought Ezekiel back. I got no clue. It's like,
and I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk, JG. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, they do need a running back. I think last year they really only had one running back that they trusted. I think bringing Ezekiel in, maybe they thought they could have a two-headed monster, but yeah, it is not working out. I don't know what's going on with him. I will say Dak overpaid, and when you're an overpaid athlete like that, and you're losing these games, you go in that locker room. It's going. Hey, you see CD Lamb looking at him like, dude, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? On the sidelines, right? You start seeing a little jealousy kind of creep in, possibly. Maybe there's a lot of locker room things going on. Maybe him and this girl. Maybe they got some issues. I don't know. Dak just isn't right with them. But I want them to make the playoffs just so I can see Stephen A. Smith's face when they lose.
Again,
that is the greatest feeling.
What's his persona when he puts on the cowboy hat? I love Stephen A.
Smith.
There's somebody put the cowboy hat on. Boy, that thing is funny.
Cowboys is America team, guys. You need to stop.
No, it's not. That makes America like we a bunch of crap, and we're not known for being crap.
Yes. You guys just hating on perfection. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean?
Maybe they should change it to the Canadian Cowboys. That might be better.
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't either.
Send them up there to the Canadian League.
They could go right ahead to that. I'll guarantee I wouldn't shed a tear.
It's about time Canadian sports expand into the United States. Just let them into the Canadian Football League.
I don't have no problem
what you say, Chris.
I don't have no problem with that. They got 3 teams in England already. Who wants to fly all the way to England? I'd rather go to Canada than England any day.
There's going to be no. Oh, okay, so Danny, good. I was going to say there'll be no Canadian disrespect on this stream today. Okay.
No,
we're not doing it. No, that's why I said you're good. That's why I said you're good. But I'm just saying I'm talking Chris because I know Chris is going to try and say some slick shit.
What are you talking about? I'm not hating on Canadian League or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey.
The Canadian Football League is like 10 times better than the National Football League.
No, you're smoking too much stuff now, right?
See?
we tried to hang on with you, but you're talking crazy. All right, it's that time of the show where we make our picks.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to go, Mr. Nzo?
No, you gotta give me a second. I forgot about the picks. Hold on. I have the thing ready. I just gotta. Okay, no, I did do the teams. Okay, so good. I'm good. All right, I am ready. See what happens when you prepare, Danny? You're always ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not used to preparing, so I wasn't sure I did it or not, but I did it. So we already had the Thursday game, and for whatever reason, Chris picked New York. Not Chris. Roberto picked New York, and he was the only one that got that one right. So
I thought about it. I was really close to texting back in and say, "Wait a minute, Jets," but no.
I wish I would have.
Yeah.
The scores right now is Danny 77-46. I am 81-42. Chris is 82-41. Roberto is 78-45, and JG
no need to say my score. I'll be good.
69-54.
What was your score again, Nzo?
81-42.
76-46, 81-42, 78-45, 82-41, and 69-54.
Mm-hmm.
So first game we have is New Orleans versus Carolina. Danny.
Carolina.
I'll change the colors later. Hold on. Danny said Carolina. I am going with Carolina as well. And Chris?
Come back to me real quick. I want to check something real quick. Hold on.
JG?
He's going to look at those Vegas odds real quick. I'm going to go with the Saints.
All right. Hold on. Let me know when you're ready, Chris.
I'm going to go Saints also.
Chris said Saints also. Hold on. And I'll get Roberto's later. All right. Next up is Washington versus the Giants. Danny.
Washington.
I should have went Danny first again. All right, Chris.
Washington.
JG.
Washington.
And
you realize, go ahead.
Washington as well.
I was just going to say, you realize, JG, right now, your best bet is to go the opposite direction on every pick everybody else makes.
Well, we seen how that happened last time, so we don't want.
Look, last time I was a little inebriated, and I should have gotten a gimme for that week, but it's okay. It's okay.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't just that either. No, you did 1 week, and you were like 14-1, so or something like that.
But wait, it's not our fault you can't hold your own, brother.
Yeah. I mean, we're all those of us who can't make it to the show. If the show happens every week, we try to put it in.
Before. I'll be all right.
Next up is Miami versus Buffalo. Chris.
You gotta think about this.
Yeah, I mean, but Miami, unfortunately, is like a kryptonite for teams that have done well, like Buffalo and New England back in the day. I'm gonna go Buffalo though. I think they got this.
All right. JG.
I'm gonna go Buffalo, but I won't be surprised Miami wins that one.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo as well. Danny.
Buffalo. I don't think Miami got a chance of winning.
Next up is go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how they do it though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they ain't got a chance, and then boom, and you're like, "What the fuck happened?" Excuse me, I'm sorry, I dropped the bomb. I'm so sorry.
Just hold on a second. Shit, that completely forgot. Okay, hold on. I ordered food and I forgot to order blue cheese with my damn food, man.
Ooh, yeah, you better go get some.
You're supposed to have that on hand.
You know. All right. Next up, we have is Los Angeles Clippers versus Cleveland
Chargers.
Clippers.
I mean Chargers. I am going with the Chargers.
Who they playing?
Browns.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Hold on a second. Chris?
You might time me this week. I'm going Browns.
Wow. Okay. JG?
I just feel the bite coming on my butt. I just feel it. But I don't know. There's something about that game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna go Chargers. I have no faith in this pick, but I'm gonna go Chargers.
I don't either, but I don't know, man. I got something. I mean,
I think this is the week of
Cleveland.
upsets right here. I think this
I kind of get that feeling, but I mean, it's in. I don't know. Yeah. What do you say?
I'm going Cleveland.
Ooh, feel a little better, but I still feel like that bite could be coming.
I got faith in Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that they might have found a good little formula there.
Yeah, I think Chubbs is back too. Yeah, I'm feeling good about that.
All right. Next up is Dallas versus Atlanta. I am going with Dallas on this one.
Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah. I'm going with the Cowboys on that one.
Put me down for Atlanta.
Danny said ATL. Chris?
God, I Can we just stop picking any Falcons games? I mean, on Falcons. God. Oh, I hate them. I hate the Falcons.
GG.
Hello.
Oh, you said the ATL?
Yeah.
All right.
I just hate doing it.
And JG.
I could be 20 and 100. I still won't pick Dallas. I'm going to Atlanta.
Wow. Next up is the Rams versus Cincy. Danny?
They're
They're
not going. The Rams are. They're playing in Seattle.
Hmm?
Yeah, they're not playing Cincinnati.
Wait, why do I have Cincy there? Who are they playing? Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams as well.
They got all their people back, so yes.
Chris?
Going with the Rams.
JG?
I want the Rams to lose as it helps my team in a division, but I'm going with the Rams. Or hell, both of them. Shit. Sorry, Dan.
Next up is Baltimore versus Denver.
Whew.
JG?
This is a tough one.
Yeah. I'm going to go Baltimore.
Danny?
I'm going Baltimore because I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row.
I'm going with Baltimore on this one as well. Chris?
Same. I agree with Danny. I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row. So Denver might have some stuff figured out.
When they playing? They playing in Baltimore too? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going against Denver.
They're playing in Denver. I might pull Denver because sometimes that high altitude makes.
Yep, that's
they're
true.
playing in Baltimore. Yeah, I'm going with Baltimore.
My question is every time they lose, it's like Henry doesn't really get the ball.
Yep.
Have you not
Why?
figured out?
Why
Have
you
you
gonna-
not figured out? Just hand it to him.
Yes. That's the juggernaut.
That's why they lost last year to us. If they
That's
just
definition.
kept running, they would have beat us. I'm sure of it.
Yep, I agree.
Next up is Arizona versus Chicago versus Arizona. Chris.
I'm going to go Cardinals on this one.
JD.
Arizona.
Danny.
Arizona.
I think I'm going to go with Chicago on this one. Let's try and be a little bit different because it seems like there. Yeah. Jacksonville versus Philly. Danny.
Eagles.
Right, too. I'm going with Philly. Chris.
Philly.
JG.
Jackson, joking Philly.
I'm going to say, boy, you want some more stuff.
Learn my lesson going against Philly.
That's why I had it twice. Okay. Detroit versus Green Bay.
God, and this is tough. Oh.
I'll go first. Detroit.
Oh.
They're playing in
Chris?
Green Bay too? I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, Jordan Love is a beast. God. This is the worst pick of the week right here.
What is it?
Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. Have you guys all picked?
Not
All right,
yet.
JG.
Just give me a second. I want to go look something up.
Look at those Vegas odds. Oh man, this is. I'm gonna go Detroit.
Yeah, God, I hate this pick too.
That might be a loss right there. This is a week of upsets. I just feel it.
I want to go Green Bay, but I think I'm gonna go Detroit. No, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Where's it? Where's it at?
Detroit and Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay.
So who'd you pick? Or have you?
I picked Detroit.
Yeah, see, I gotta go to Detroit on this too because I think Love's gonna be playing, but I still don't think he's 100%. I think he's just doing the I don't want to lose my job to the backup guy. um, yeah, God, this is one that was. Mm. All right, yeah, I gotta go to Detroit.
Minnesota versus Indiana. I am going with Minnesota. Chris?
Minnesota.
JG?
Minnesota.
Danny?
Yeah, Vikings ain't losing 2 in a row.
Next up, Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. Chris?
Yes.
Kansas City versus Tampa Bay.
Do I have? I mean, really? Have I ever, when given the picks, have I ever said anything other than Kansas City, even if I thought they were going to lose? It's Kansas City. I have to go Kansas City. Have to.
JG?
I got a feeling this is one of the losses they're gonna have. I'm gonna go Kansas City.
Possibility.
Not with old boy being out. They top receiver.
Who's out? Oh yeah.
Still, like I said, this is an upset week. I feel it.
Chiefs.
I too am going with the Chiefs on this one. Tennessee versus New England versus Tennessee. JG?
Man,
this is battle of
the Patriots are like one of those teams. Like if I go against them, they win.
This is the battle of the
They're
bottom.
your Atlanta, aren't they?
I got 3 Atlantas, man. That's what never
Jets.
fails. I'm going to do it for my state, Tennessee.
Danny?
New England.
Ooh.
Tennessee is 1-6.
Yeah, but I think this is an upset week, man. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Upset? What's New England?
2-6.
Yeah.
I said New England should be winning. But
This is the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee on this one.
This is the ring around the toilet bowl. I mean, it's the flush has already started happening on this game. It's just what's the crap that's going to be left? I'm going Titans because they're the number 1 defense right now, and defense can win, and I don't know.
I can't tell.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go Titans.
All right. And there's one more game, right? What I missed?
Cincinnati and Raiders.
Okay, that's what it was. Hold on. All right, that's what I'm taking.
Cincinnati.
I too am taking Cincy. JG?
Cincinnati.
And Chris?
Cincinnati. Yeah, JG. I don't check the Vegas odds. That makes no difference one way or another. I just check to see. Yeah, I know. You know what I was doing. I was checking to make sure if Love was playing or not. And I mean, if Love was 100%, if I could get any confirmation from what I've read online that he's 100%, what I've read is that he's like at 40, and he's just at
40% and play.
That's most people just think he needs to sit out this week, and like I've heard it on the talk radio, on ESPN talk radio, on local talk radio, everything. Everybody that they've talked to about this says that it's just because he's got the money now. They gave him the money. He wants to play, and he's in that mode because he's so new to the starting role. Because this is only his really second year starting. That in his mind, he's in that revolving trap of, I know I can play, but he's injured, and he in his mind he just doesn't want to give it up. And unfortunately, this comes down to coaching and everything. he's good enough that he can play, but most people think he shouldn't be playing. So I until I hear that he was better off than that, it just so that's why I had to go with Detroit on it.
And playing in that cold weather with that injury, man, it's
Yeah, I mean, there's. I would have gone with Green Bay. I was early this week when I was looking at who I was going to pick. I was really, really torn between the two, but I can't get a straight answer exactly how much this injury is or isn't going to hamper him. And I know last week he tried and it just didn't work out. I'm afraid that's going to happen this week.
Yeah, I can't afford no loss. Let me switch mine back to the Lions.
Because
what's that?
Let me switch my Green Bay back to the Lions.
Okay.
Give me just a second here. Hold on, just a second. But yeah, you guys talk. I'm gonna look something else up or what's going on.
Yeah, I just read it a lot of, and it ain't looking good. Yep. Oh. Well, gentlemen, we have gone through another episode of this is week 9 of the Square One. As always, we had a good show. We want to thank everyone for dropping by. DQ, he hang on with us the whole time. We appreciate it, brother. Want to thank Neat Jones dropped by. We appreciate it. Also want to thank G Major. He stopped by earlier. Thank you. We appreciate it. I think I'm missing somebody else, but maybe I'm not. I thought somebody else stopped by. But what's going on in your neck of the woods there, Mr. Nzo?
Biggaford Entertainment. Tonight will be the From Watch Party at midnight, so make sure to check that out. Other than that, we're doing the regular stuff.
All right, JG, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
I know the usual OOC Wednesday night, or should I do my whole outro thing, or?
No, we're gonna come back to that.
Okay. The Wednesday night OOC stuff. Weekly tournaments when we do it. Of course, here Square One. Prime time Sunday night with my brother from another mother doing a Penguin Live watch party.
Yeah, do you like the Penguin, JJ?
I love it.
So you don't think it's trash?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, I'm just checking. Mr. Knight.
Yeah, no.
Do you watch Penguin?
I've caught bits and pieces of it. I don't think it's trash. I like the whole format around the Batman, so it works really well with it.
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Still doing the Masked Singer. Last week we were off, or this week we were off because of the World Series. Congratulations to the Dodgers. I know you guys aren't real big baseball fans, but I grew up a big fan of the Dodgers. So
I didn't watch it, but I saw the highlights. I saw Magic taking.
Yeah, it was nice. I hate the Yankees, so I was perfectly fine with the Dodgers winning. And that makes it so the Kansas City Royals lost to the losers of the World Series. So at least hey, that works. Other than that, not too much. But yeah, we got the Masked Singer stuff going on still. Yeah, just trying to make these shows. Trying to be here. I think we're doing the tournament tomorrow, and yeah. So,
what time are you doing that, Anzo?
Not sure. That probably a little earlier, maybe
6,
8, something like that.
Maybe
Maybe earlier. Yeah, maybe around that. Yeah.
We'll do around 6 or 7. That's good with me. Just my input.
Yeah, no, whatever time guys can do it. If we do it, for sure.
Yeah, and
7 year time's fine with me. I can do that really easy.
Was this tomorrow or tonight?
Tomorrow.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm Danny, host of The Road to Wisdom. I do it for Mondays and Fridays. Also, I do this on Saturdays at 4, somewhere in that time frame. I'm on the Hangout on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Guy Squad Channel, the Basketball Scenario. And I'm also on Storms Live. We're taking a 2-week hiatus because Robert Storm's on vacation. I'm not mad at that. Those nights is getting a little bit tough. And
didn't you used to do it every night?
We first started, man. We did it every night, sometimes 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yep. We first started Storms Live. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. But catch me out. I did a show earlier before this show. It's called 10 TV shows you should watch. Some of them I just kind of fell on it. Didn't know it was really good, but the 10 shows that I put on there, I think are very good show. Well, it's 9 shows and 1 movie. So check that out. I'm not doing this on Chaos Central. I did it, like I said, an hour before this show. So check that out. And as always, we're gonna go out with our main man, the hype man of the show. That's Mr. JG Shaolin.
JG Shaolin, terrific. The undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 champs of Shaolin. What? Make sure you guys check me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Nzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of the the Spliff King, and the Professor of Gunja, alongside the co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gwen Be Irie. No woman, no cry. And of course, the weekly tournaments, usually Friday nights, if we do them, and Saturdays with my brothers, hosted by the main man himself, the amazing, the outstanding, the charismatic, always man of the hour. Doctors say he's the illest because he suffers from realness. If you smell what Danny is cooking.
I can smell it.
And of course, check out Chris, the last Don himself, with everything he does. It's always a blast. And prime time, Sunday night, with my brother from another mother, El Príncipe de Nueva York, super wise with the Penguin Live watch parties.
That is it. That is the hype man, JG Shaolin, from one of those chambers, the 31st, the 32nd, the 33rd, whichever one chamber is. Where he
all of the chambers.
All of the chambers. So until next time, next Saturday, y'all be safe out there, man. And guess what? Watch football. It's awesome.